The Disney creator.
You could widen your...
Just make...
Harambe.
Never a...
I'm pleased to welcome you to the very first episode of the WDW radio show. I am your host, Lou Mangello, and this is show number 100 for the week of January 4th, 2009. Thank you so much for joining me to celebrate 100 shows. And this is show number 200 for the week of December 12th, 2010. And this is show number 300 for the week of November 11th, 2012. And this is show number 400 for the week of March 22nd, 2015. Part of the fun of my Walt Disney World Wayback Machine, a live restaurant review, Top 10 with Tim segment. So I want to welcome Ron Schneider to the WDW radio show. Disney legend Alice Davis to the show. Please say bonjour to Paige O'Hara. Disney legend Tony Baxter. Alan Menken. Dame Julie Andrews.
And he is, of course, Marty Sklar, a man who needs no introduction.
So it is my pleasure to welcome producer Don Hahn to the WDW radio show with what can only be described as the greatest job in the world. It is my pleasure to welcome Samantha Brown from the Travel Channel.
And I can't tell you how thrilled I am to be here to tell you a few stories and sing some of the songs my brother Bob and I wrote. And here's your song.
WDW Radio, your information station.
Hello, my friend, and welcome to the WDW radio show, your Walt Disney World information station. I am your host, Lou Mangello, and this is show number 500, and I am here again more than 10 years later to continue to try and help you have not just the best vacation experience when you go to the parks or on a cruise, but I also want to bring you a little bit of Disney magic wherever you are, whenever you are, with the podcast, the videos, the blog, live broadcasts every Wednesday night, my books, audio tours, special events, and more. You can find everything still at WDWRadio.com. And so thanks to you, together, we are celebrating 500-ish, I'll explain more on the show, episodes of WDW Radio. And so this week, I want to celebrate you, as the show has always been and will be for, by, and about you. So I invited some members of the WDW Radio Nation to my home this week as we recorded a look back at 500 shows and more than 10 years of our WDW Radio family. So I invite you to please join us as we look back at some of our favorite moments, guests, and events. We'll take some of your calls, and we'll also look ahead to what's next and where. I'll then also share my top 5 interviews, live dining reviews, top 5 top 10s, and a few of my favorite episodes as well. I'll then have the answer to our last Walt Disney World trivia question of the week, and I'll pose a new challenge for a chance to win a Disney prize package. Then stay tuned to the end of the show. I'll not just have your voicemails, but more information about upcoming events, meets of the month, and more. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode of the WDW Radio Show. Good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are. Welcome to show number 500-ish. Thank you. For those of you joining us live, thank you so much for being here on a Saturday. Thank you. Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. We said 4-ish. We weren't kidding. We started a couple minutes late. Today has been an adventure, much like 500 shows has been an adventure. But thanks all of you who have been here who have been waiting patiently or not so patiently in the box. I love seeing so many people, so many familiar names and faces. So many of you congratulating me on 500 shows. You're doing it wrong. You should be congratulating yourself on 500 shows. I said this is very much a celebration of you because I would not be here, literally and figuratively, if it wasn't for you. And for some of the folks that are joining us here live, not everything goes as planned. As we've come to discover, and we have all come to discover, this was supposed to be a gathering of some members of the WDW Radio Nation and some friends and family at a truly secret, undisclosed location in Walt Disney World. And that's when things start. Fortunately, Becky, thank God Becky's not here yet. So, because you'll hear her version of the story and then my version of the story. But we adapt, we overcome, we start a couple minutes late. And I have welcomed all my friends and you, my friend, literally into my home. Thank you, baby Jesus, for making the rain stop, because it really would have been even more so an adventure. You're right. I did just change. Right from the you say nothing, and that's the first thing you say is that I jinxed it. Who brought those kids? Who brought those kids? Those are these two are not my kids. Fortunately, those are not my kids. Those are my kids off in the back. And we do have some friends and members of the nation with us. If you guys want to say hi. That's you. That's you.
Hello, everyone.
That's Lisa. That's Scott and Susanna. Scott, Scott and Susanna. And some other friends and members of the nation who have joined us today. Listen, I would have loved to have you all here, but clearly there's not enough room in the lanai. There certainly wasn't enough room in the room that we had today. Again, I'll save that story for Becky when she literally is waiting to make a grand entrance. I think she's waiting.
She's around the corner.
She is. Is that it? Oh, the motorcade is just pulling up. We hear that we can see the sirens and the motorcycles as she gets ready to join us. But you would think, with knowing that Show 500 was coming for so long, I would have had the entire day. Why are you shaking your head, Jimmy Styles? Because I would have the entire day planned out, exactly where we were going and what we were doing. And I made 3 trips to Publix this morning. What did he say?
That was the exact opposite.
It was the exact opposite. And for those of you who are here seeing how this happens, you've seen that there is really not a lot of... Don't shake your head. Don't nod. Yes, there were technical issues. There were non-technical issues. But we made it, and the show must go on. And despite my stress and frustration this morning and an hour ago, this will probably not be the last show ever. We'll see. We'll see how the day goes. But I really don't have anything planned because I really did want tonight to be about you and sort of celebrating 500 shows with you. Molly's watching from South Dakota. Jessica's in Las Vegas. Marla's in Las Vegas. By the way, Marla Chan, if I knew how to make a heart, I would give you so many big hearts for the bags of taco-flavored Doritos that you sent me last week. They came in very handy. I am not sharing. My kids will be the first one to tell you I am not sharing, and I have absolutely no problem with that. Stephanie Bullock says, I've met so many amazing friends through the running team. Thank you so much, Lou. Listen, the thanks. I'm just a facilitator. You guys are the ones that go out and do the running and all that kind of stuff. And all the what?
Love you, Steph. We love you, Steph.
Oh, they're saying that they love you. They're saying that they love you. Everyone loves you.
Love my tribe. Love your donuts.
Love your what did you say? If you think the donuts were good on your side, you should have been. We had coffee. We had right.
It was yes.
Cheering is better. Cheering is greater than running. We need to start making up cheering medals, though, McNamara's. That's what I think that we need. What do you mean? We're out there just as...
I said cheering medals. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Dave Rashoni says it's 34 in Niagara Falls. And Vicky Guppy is watching from Australia. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. It's 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Yikes. Do I want to join the Hips family at the boathouse in 35 days? I was hoping you were saying 35 minutes because I would have been out of here. But the chair is here, right? The boathouse, my boathouse chair. Angelina is enjoying it. Are you enjoying it? Is it all you dreamed it would be? She's like, what chair? I just sat in the folding chair. So this is not the first show to not go as planned. I mean, we had some semblance of plans, at least a location. Not really. It all came together. It sort of almost came together this week. Jim Orahosky says, I'm a 500 plus show, because it's really not 500 shows if you think about it, because it's 500 episodes, not including the newscasts and the videos and the 40-hour shows and the special event shows and that other show beforehand, which was called, anybody? Mouse Tunes. Were you a Mouse Tunes listener?
Definitely not.
I have them. I found them. There's, I actually found in this little magic bag under my desk here, there's a number of things that I found that might make an appearance later on today. I cannot speak to what might be in there.
He's distracted down here right now.
Somebody said, I'm listening in from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, which has awesome poutine, by the way. Since episode 400 till now, who's been your favorite or most memorable guest? Love everything, Lou. Thanks for everything. Happy. Yikes. Jimmy Styles? Is that a question or that's an affirmative statement? Jimmy's, you are my best guest?
Have I been on in 400s?
I don't even know. I don't know who's been. Listen. I have no idea. You are on SNA. SNA was good stuff.
I don't know. Was Jock Lindsay's in the 400s?
I don't think so. He doesn't listen. He don't care.
I don't remember that review.
He don't care. Michael Berrigan doesn't care. He's just here for the food. So let's see. What show number was SNA? I'm actually looking it up. Wow. Let's see. I have a matrix with all the shows. 478. Listen, at least you were in the right 400s. Yeah. What show were you on?
400-ish. It was September.
Nice. No caring whatsoever. don't. You completely lied. It's not even in the 420s.
I know it was September.
Let's see. 5 best books about Walt Disney. Probably that guy.
Yeah.
The live food review at Mama Melrose.
Who found the show and all this stuff via the trivia books? Is it Volume 1, Volume 2?
Volume 3.
But shut up, man! My kids. I still owe my son a cover on a book. I took a picture. Oh my God, he's sitting back there. He just said it. I have. Nicholas, did we not do like a photo shoot with you in a pirate costume for the Volume 3 cover? We did. It never materialized. I should have pulled it up, but are you gonna jump in the pool in this one, Lou? Again, a Scott Otis isn't right. Wasn't that you who made me jump in the pool? That was when I lived in Naples. And my neighbors, by the way, much like these guys probably will, thought I was a weirdo because I was sitting outside at 9:00 at night. Don't look at me like that. My lanai, talking to myself. And you said something like, "Oh, you dared me for charity to jump in the pool. Do it for the kids." And we raised
over $1,000.
Right, because I think non-existent Becky Menken, who's not here yet, waiting for a grand entrance, didn't she match what we raised? That's crazy. Jason said I searched for a podcast about Disney 3 years before my first visit. My sister told you about this past June. Cindy Deppen found the podcast while I was driving an hour to work each day. Facebook, top 5 snacks on YouTube. I found the show when you broadcast a wedding. Oh my God, Larson and Stephanie's wedding. That was a long time ago. Found my show when I got my iPhone 4. Found you moonwalking when Captain EO came back. I may or may not have. Please don't search for that. Top 10 things you should not search for. Lou in Greece. Me moonwalking at Captain EO. My wife saw you on the news about quitting law to do Disney stuff. Dave Rashoni saw it live. And Dave Rashoni, not only did you see it live, I still remember when Dave Rashoni called me when I was living in Scotch Plains, New Jersey, about creating the WDW Radio theme song, which is not me singing. No. Please. I want people to keep watching. Don't. This is why I do a show by myself. No.
Oh my gosh, that would be so much fun.
Oh, I think Becky's at the door. Can you go? How come we never hear Xanalan on the podcast? I can't afford her. I mean, that's honestly what it is.
I was just thinking, it's been a while.
It has been. I think the last one that we did was... Did we do like a top 10 technology...
Was that the most recent one? Oh, really? Yeah. We did one after Trader Sam's.
Oh, that's right. We did a live review of Trader Sam's.
That shows up on my Facebook.
We did do a live review of Trader Sam's. Martin Shergold, although you are in the United Kingdom, I wish you were here. People are waving hi to you. Whitney Watts, nice to see you as well. I used to listen to Mouse Tunes, been a day one, hour one listen. Does anybody? So who's that said listen to Mouse Tunes? So here's a trivia question, because we're celebrating 10 years of WDW Radio, which is not really true, and 500 episodes, which is also not really true. Does Chantel Crawford? You were actually Chantel Crawford. You were on show 7. So you were one of we did DVC at Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is actually coincidentally where I'm supposed to be right now. Alas, I'm at my house. So it's not really 500. It's not really 10 years. Does anybody know when I did my very first podcast? What year it was?
Was it 03 or 04?
It was 2005. April 2005. When I was about to get geeky and technical about how back in the old days, how we used to have to... We don't do it as easy as you guys do now at all the little easy libs and stuff. Like we were hand coding feeds, and there was only like 3 Disney podcasters. I still do. I still hand code my feed. No, man, I do as I say, not as I do. Because when you've been doing it for 12 years, you sort of get used to doing it a certain way. So I like to be able to see and have control over everything. Martin, yes, at least the internet is... Terry says, who could blame me? Animal Kingdom Lodge is so far away. Seriously? Isn't it? Thank you. Is it not far? Did you say yes?
I would have had my babysitter had to come way early.
You used to make fun of me oh, really, Mangello? I live in Maryland, so it is. It's like...
If I done an Animal Kingdom Lodge, I probably wouldn't have done it. It's that far.
That says a lot about the depth of our friendship, clearly. Hello, Beatrice Feeney. Yes, nice. Beatrice Feeney, she's being quiet. It's okay. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You can come here and give me a hug.
Of course. Hi there.
How are you?
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you, too.
You look very young for your 500.
You've been around, we were just saying, how people first found the show, yes. And was it the first time? I know the first time I met you was at Mouse Fest 2005?
Yep,
right?
2005.
We bonded very quickly.
We did.
And then you came to...
you like Disney? Yay!
But you came to...
I found my people.
There's Brian. And you came to... I did a Mouse Fest meetup and did a trivia contest.
Yes.
And I still have a picture of you at the Tomorrowland Terrace holding up your little A letter thing. And I think you probably won a shirt or something.
Yes, I love that.
That was a long time. That was 12 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been listening since 2006.
Awesome.
Listened to WDW the day it was released.
Wow.
I was going to say...
and you've gone through a few changes. There was a different name. There was almost a mascot one time.
Oh my God!
Oh, yeah.
On Mouse
We were
Tunes.
trying to name
So
it.
wait a minute. What was the mascot? What kind of animal was it? This was not my idea, which is why I now do a solo show.
That was so cute. I thought it was adorable.
Did you?
I did.
Dave Rashoni, and already people are bringing up Olga.
Yes, right.
Let's not. What kind of animal was it?
Oh, I want to...
Nobody else listened to Mouse Tunes, right?
Was it like a squirrel or something?
It was a sugar glider.
God, I was just laughing.
I love sugar gliders.
Yeah.
They're delicious, aren't they? In China, we had them on a stick. So, not really. So, but you never listened to Mouse Tunes, did you? Nice. So, I had a co-host on my original show, Nathan, and he wanted to have a mascot for the show, which may have been the beginning of the end. And he had somebody draw a little sugar glider. And he wanted to name it something, and and I'm like, this is the stupidest idea, and it's the stupidest thing, and I'm like, the name is really simple because all he used to drink were shandies. I'm like, well, clearly the name of the thing should be Shandy.
Yes. Yes.
And I think he made like plush out of it.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, or he dressed like a furry. One of the two. I don't remember exactly what it was. No, I'm kidding. Nathan, not that you're watching, but Nathan was a good guy, and we started podcasting together. I met Nathan because he was a tech nerd like me at MouseFest 2005, and we had started talking about that we were tech people. And so this is how WDW Radio got started. We were talking about just technology and our websites and stuff like that. And we're like, there's this new thing called podcasting coming up. And I went to Ask Jeeves and I looked up what a podcast was. And I was like, well, the spoken word is so much more powerful than anything that I write, and I suck at typing anyway, so let's try and figure out how to do this. Where we started, and Nathan originally started hand coding our feed, and I will never forget sitting down to record the first episode. No, I'm not going to play it because I haven't actually heard it. If you think episode 1 of WDW Radio was bad, episode 1 of Mouse Tunes must have been horrific. How anybody continued to listen, I have no idea. But they did, and it sort of grew, and the second hardest conversation I ever had in my life was telling Nathan that I wanted to leave the show, which he was okay with, until I told him that I was starting up my own show the week after. That didn't go so well. What year? So when did WDW Radio start? When did episode 1 come out?
February 2007.
February 2000? Look at you, man. You know what? I take back everything Deanna said about you. Meandering Mouse was one of the other original ones. And I think Paul Barry's, I think Winter of the Magic was still there. John, you cannot find Mouse Tunes online because my former ex-co-host decided that selling the domain name was a smart idea. So it's not there. It's not on iTunes. But I do have. Maybe one of these days I'll release I can't even release a best of because I'm not sure if there's a best of Mouse Tunes. But I will.
There is definitely a best of Mouse Tunes.
Is there? Oh. What was the best in Mouse Tunes? You never even listen. You still don't listen. How do you know? I remember, Virginia remembers the episode where I fought with Nate. We literally fought on air because he insisted that the name of Disney's private island was Castaway Cay.
Right. I remember that episode. It was like on a good cop, bad cop show.
But that was not the intent.
No, at all.
And then he wanted, whatever. Bill Daniels said, did I ever have an unpleasant interview? Yes, I did. I have had one interview.
Yes.
I've had.
You've had 2.
No, I had one interview that I am 92% sure I never aired, and I had one bad segment that I never aired, and the one bad interview that I never aired was with the lead singer of the Village People.
Sure one.
Yeah, because I wanted to find the most obscure interview possible. He was not a nice man. So there was no good that would have come out of that interview. Who was the only guest I've ever had to censor other than Scott Otis? Alice Davis. Why?
Because she said,
What'd she say?
we're talking about a man's situation.
I don't understand. I don't remember.
I want to be the answer to every question. There's 2 people here.
This is live, so Marty Baker Rabin says, how long does it take to produce an episode? Okay, new podcast. No one else here a podcaster? How long does it take to produce an episode of a show?
2 hours.
Oh my God. My shows are 2 hours long.
Too much editing. You just kind of record and that's it.
And I think
edit out the 3, 2, 1 at the beginning.
And I think that's the way it should be. I don't edit anything except if it's Alice Davis, because I used to know somebody who took 6 hours to edit his audio because he used to take out all the ums and ers and pauses, and it sounded so robotic.
It would take me 25 hours.
Yeah. It didn't.
A lot.
So how long does it take me to do a show? All right, so let's say depending on the
put music in your
right
and all that other stuff. I don't do that yet.
So if it's going to be like a DSI or something, like I'll spend 2-3 hours at least researching it first, and then an hour and a half or so to record it, and then to produce it. I mean, I kind of have it down to it probably takes me soup to nuts 6 hours. 6 hours or so, 7 hours or so.
But when he doesn't have a show, it's magical.
Let me just tell you that. It's really
No, when I don't have a show, that's when I'm like, come on, kids, get in the car. We're going to do a live dining review. It's funny because it's true. I was supposed to do, it is true. I'm totally fine saying that. I was supposed to record an episode with somebody, and I didn't have. And
this past weekend, probably.
No, but I mean the first time you did it. And that's why sometimes it's so difficult, because I don't do a monologue show. Like, if your co-host or your guest can't do it, then what do you do? Like, then it's like, it's live dining review time. Or, hey, Jimmy Styles, what are you doing this weekend? Yeah. John Young says, what podcast, if any, do you listen to, Lou? So, John Young, I will tell you honestly, sorry, bro, I don't listen to any other Disney podcasts.
It's harder for not listening to mine.
But now I want to, because now I want to see what it takes you 2 hours to do. Like, I'm just curious. Oh, podcast. So I don't listen to any Disney podcasts, and there's two reasons why. One, I have no time, and I'm rarely in my car. And two, I never, ever want anybody to be able to say to me, oh, you stole that idea from so-and-so, or Jimmy Styles just did that episode. If I don't listen, I can't be accused of ever copying anybody, so I just choose not to. So here's my Thurl Ravenscroft story. I tracked down Thurl Ravenscroft years ago when he was in a nursing home, and I got in touch with the person who was his caregiver, explained to her what I was trying to do and the concept of I was like, listen, I'm doing liquor.
Becky Mank.
Oh, Becky Mank. Oh, all rise. Don't make eye contact. I told you. No eye contact with Becky.
I hate you. I hate you more.
Were we not just saying nice things about Becky for the past hour? 40.
You're so funny.
Weren't we?
You're so funny like that.
Nothing mean was said.
Nothing mean. Thank you.
Lying out loud is what
Nothing mean was said. Nothing. Fred Abley said, "Avert your." Wait. Oh. So Fred Abley says, "Avert your eyes. The Queen arrives." The princess has arrived. Look. I don't make the news. I just read it.
Should I go into the real story? No.
Of what? Of what? So wait. So somebody just asked how you and I first met.
Do you want the real story or yours?
What did I tell you?
To wait, because he told me there were two.
What did I tell you?
My story is correct.
All right. So how did we first meet? Stan Solo says Becky is here. All the children have left, and coincidentally, it's true.
Wow.
The Hoffman kids are gone.
Nicholas is here. Nicholas loves it.
I'm a young adult, so I don't.
Yes, you are.
Go ahead. How did we first meet?
Magic Meets.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually,
so far, that's true.
Yes. The first year of Magic Meets, when you were there, surrounded by your clan, and you were across the way, and MEI Mouse.
So you let me wait. Hold on. So you saw me across a crowded room. You were captivated. And then I turned to stone. Go ahead.
Oh my! 2. I've been here 5 seconds, and you got 2 hits already.
Go ahead.
All right. So
Ricky liked it.
Honest.
Go ahead.
The real honest version. Magic Meets. You came up to me and introduced yourself at my table. You did.
Because it's a gentlemanly thing to do.
It was a nice thing to do, yeah, because I sponsored the entire event. And you came over and said hello. And I happened to be on the side with another podcast sitting next to me.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. Go ahead.
Yes. And they, obviously, it was a great show. Magic Meets was a wonderful place to meet everybody. We had a great time. And you came over and introduced yourself and said, hey, look at my book. And, kind of tell me about what you did, and it was really nice.
I didn't say, hey, look at my book. I probably said...
Yes, you did. He did. Hey, look at my book.
God.
Yeah, I wrote a book. It's got my daughter on it. I remember that. I mean, here, look at my cute little daughter. So... you were really sweet, and we were talking about what you were doing there and what your business model was and all the fun you were having, and then I started talking to you about what we did, and the first thing out of your mouth was, I have a travel partner. And I went,
oh yes,
okay. Oh, okay, that's awesome. As long as you encourage people to book their travel agent, that's great. Congratulations. I'm glad but you were really sweet, because you were like, I have a travel, and I'm like, oh good, that's fine, that's wonderful, and great. and you kept talking, and you blurted out, "I'm really loyal." And I went, "Okay, that's great. It's nice that you're really loyal and you've got a travel partner. That's awesome, and it's great to meet you." And I said, because I was awkwardly trying to get all the conversation, "But if that ever changes, let me know."
And then one New Year's Eve, he didn't have a date.
Then the next year, did Magic Meets again after some interesting things with Mouse Fest, which someday we'll tell that tale.
We already did. Go ahead.
You didn't tell that. You never told anybody that.
Not that tale.
Okay. Jeez. So I want to be around for that. The next year, you came up and you said you were really impressed with my team and how great they were, and that they were waving with the Mickey hands. And remember?
Go ahead.
You're old. It's okay. So, you don't remember that, do you?
Keep going.
Really?
Keep going.
So then you said, it might be time to have that conversation. It was a year later. And we talked the next week, and that's how we formed a partnership.
All right, Becky Menken. It's trivia time with Becky Menken.
Wait, what's your version?
Your version.
Hi, I'm Lou Mangello. Come work with me.
No. That's that was about 29% true. But at the heart of it, I remember I was standing at a table while you were sitting down because I was not allowed to sit next to you. You were sitting there, and you said, "If things ever change."
I did the first year I said that. It's the first.
Let me know.
Year, so I was awkwardly trying to get out of the conversation to be going, "I'm loyal." And so
why do you keep saying you're awkwardly trying? Are all conversations with me that awkward, and I just don't know it?
Well, there have been some interesting ones, that's for sure, over the time, because it's been almost 10 years.
On what episode did you first appear?
Oh, I want to forget that one.
Scott knows.
Well, Scott knows everything.
He does know what you're saying.
Scott knows everything you've ever said at any time.
Dude, I am incredibly impressed. Or did you study before today?
That's the one.
Okay.
It's the one. Do you know?
I don't.
Take a guess.
24.
Not even close.
50.
Anybody else?
7.
68.
19.
68. Scott 62. Got it right. 68.
68.
In April 2008.
See, 68. I got it. Awesome.
You are coming up on your 10-year. Tony says pretty much yes, you're awkward.
I was so unsure about you.
About me?
Point. Yeah. Because I didn't know if you were going to, throw trivia at me, so I would have to prove my worth or knowledge.
Wait, so a couple people asked me, where are you? Because it does not look like a Disney. This is Disney's newest resort, known as my backyard. We had some technical issues at the undisclosed secret location earlier today, and we improvised after 6 trips to Publix. And you see now what the opposite side of the computer looks like, and the hot mess that it is back there. So, Scott Otis, or anybody else, who was the very first guest I ever had on the show? So the first show that I did, that awful 6.5 minutes, which took me 6 hours to do. It took me 6 hours. Yeah. It was.
Didn't you do a podcast before that?
6.5 minute show. You didn't have anybody on.
No, I know.
Oh, yeah.
But it was me doing all the production because Nathan and I used to share production, and then it was also trying to figure out what to say. Who was it?
The voice of Mouston.
Who was?
Was it really?
Who was it?
Was it Jonathan?
It was John. What's his last name?
Dichter.
It was Jonathan
What
Dichter.
do I win?
Nothing. You want you can win a T-shirt or a pop socket or you don't have an iPhone, so I can't give you an iPhone case. I have lots of all I'm. You want to start that debate again? I have lots of exciting prizes and really? Things. Yeah, I have lots of. You'll have to wait and see. You'll have to wait and see.
In that bag?
I've got lots of interesting stuff in the.
I don't doubt that.
In the bag.
Don't doubt that. Someone grab the bag. Oh,
don't.
By the way, while he's sitting here, somebody is scouring the house for the grease tape, right?
You will never find it. I guarantee you that you will never find it because.
Don't worry about it. I'm on it. It's in the bag.
It's in the bag.
I've been trying to get him to run the grease tape for the 500th. I think that would be perfect. None of us are going to...
Because here's the grease tape.
At all times. Never should have shown me what that looks like. I wouldn't know what I was looking for.
I spy.
So the grease tape really does exist.
Nice.
Eventually, you need to go to the bathroom. Oh my gosh!
I mean, listen,
grease on it.
It says grease on it. I mean, if I had a VCR out here, I'd play it. But
if you really cared about your listeners, especially the ones that are here, especially the members of the nation, don't think I won't go after that, no matter where it is.
no.
I think that you should show the people that came all the way out.
Listen, I'm doing. Sometimes, as a parent, we make decisions that we know are in the best interest of our child. We don't let them do things or see things. That's how I feel about the grease tape.
Why?
Because no good will come of anybody seeing the grease
Just
tape.
tell us what role you played.
No.
Why? It's
because
it's a guy in leather. We know that.
I just feel special because like I was in the vicinity of
the grease tape.
You want to touch it?
touch it?
All right. So, to those of you and you in the group, what was your favorite interview ever on the show? Cindy Morgan. I love. Shut your face! You did not. The Cindy Morgan?
Northern Illinois University.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Oh my God.
We'll do a show together.
Oh, I don't. No, we're not recording. I don't want to record that. Did you really? Like, Yori Cindy Morgan?
She was Nancy's sorority sister.
All right. Other than his ex-girlfriend.
Julie Andrews.
You know how
Julie
old I
Andrews.
am. Just imagine.
I got some Stacey's. I got lots of Richard Sherman's. Cal David. Who's Cal David? No help. Who's Cal David?
No idea.
Sunny Clips. Bob Gurr.
Interviews but really wasn't an interview when we did the cruise with Richard Sherman. And when he was rehearsing on stage,
oh my God.
And Glenn and you and I and Tony. That was a favorite moment.
That was, because we sort of sat there and we literally just
watched him.
We took in the moment of like where we were and what we were doing and what we were witnessing. And that was awesome.
Oh, I love Samantha Brown. Samantha Brown was a good one, especially because you totally fanboyed out.
Oh my God!
On
Absolutely.
the what was it? It was either the dream or the fantasy, because when we had the media event on, it's got to be the dream.
One of them.
But you totally fanboyed out. You're like, I don't know if I should talk to her. Should I go talk to her? I'm not sure if I can talk to her.
That was.
She came up behind you. She goes, "Oh, it's Lou Mongello," and you like turned beet red and did that. You totally did. And then you came bouncing back over after you got a chance to talk to Samantha Brown. And said, "Oh, she remembered my name." It was so cute. You fanboyed.
I did it again like two. So when did one? Oh, well, here's a trivia question because I don't know the answer. When did 102 Ways to come out? How long ago was that? 3 years ago?
That was the year that we did the show at Key West.
Still not helping. Give me a year. I don't either. So maybe it was. So I saw her in Magic Kingdom, and she came over. We were chatting, and I have a picture of me, her, and 102 Ways.
Isn't that on your website? Isn't that like
probably
prominently displayed?
It was my lock screen for a long time too.
I loved your Ridley Pearson interview where he turned the tables on you. That was
nice.
On the cruise. That was on the cruise.
I wish I could have fed him some questions though, because that would have been more fun.
So, all right, Giorgio Irakurta is on. Who is he, and why is what? Who is he, and what show is he on?
You know what? You never introduced me to anybody, so how am I supposed to know?
Giorgio, by the way, we're going to get together now that you're...
He does not introduce...
Remember who Giorgio is?
Because he'll like run across the room and
I get this.
start
I'm
talking
going to mute your microphone. Anybody who Giorgio is? No? Yes? He's the mask artist, the Venetian mask artist from Italy.
Ooh.
He was like a very early video. What was the very first video I ever did? I'll give you a T-shirt. Not that you would ever wear it, but I'll give you a T-shirt. Huh?
Something to do with food.
Yep. It was something to do with food, obviously.
And it was...
Obs. Nope.
Under $5.
Nope. Nope.
I do not know that.
T-Rex Cafe. T-Rex Cafe.
Why?
The grand opening of T-Rex Cafe, and that's when I first met Steve Schussler.
We were like, oh my gosh, you ate all that food in
No, the funniest thing was that Nicholas, who was like 4 or 5, was going back to school, and I guess something got lost in translation because I met one of his teachers and was like, "Oh, I didn't know you own T-Rex Cafe. Your son Nicholas just told me." And I'm like, "No, I don't own T-Rex Cafe. I happen to shoot a video there." So
I couldn't go in there. Dinosaurs eat your head.
Favorite dining review?
Blue Zoo.
Blue Zoo? Boathouse? The first Blue. That was really early on, too, with Scott, right? So let me see. Blue Zoo was 204. Oh, yeah.
That was good.
And then I did... And then we did Grand Floridian Tea.
Not a food review, but the Food and Wine Festival walkabout.
So we did... So Emma was back on show 202. Wow, she was on 3 shows. Huh.
So didn't you do like one that was like a UK?
We explored the UK.
Was, and then one
Yep.
was, we went to Rose and Crown.
And then we did Afternoon Tea.
Okay.
So wait, so favorite dining room, so a lot of people said Jock Lindsay's. That was a good time. Jock Lindsay was a good time.
We pointed at the menu and we told the server, we just want this, and he literally...
And we sat in the bell, like that was a good, and he was a good server too.
Yeah, he was fun.
One of the Southern hospitality restaurants where the cast member was flirting with Lou. I don't know what episode was that.
That happening.
So was there ever a live dining review that you heard that prompted you to go to that restaurant? Yeah.
Oh, Rose and Crown.
Rose and Crown?
Yeah.
Like that you wouldn't have probably gone to otherwise.
I tried the Scotch eggs and all that stuff just because
they're good. Raglan Road. Oh, Frank Kaz in we did Meisner's Lounge. We did Meisner's Lounge together. We had a lovely time, by the way. And then he bought a shot of Louis XIII just because.
Really?
Yeah.
Who did that?
Frank.
Awesome.
And he let me take a sip of it.
Good job.
And I'm like,
was it good?
Yeah.
Was it worth the cost?
I think that, by the way, Lucy Stewart, thank you very much. I think that you need to have an appreciation for that type of liquor to understand the difference between a $250 shot and a, some Mad Dog 2020 out of the back of your van. Father Christopher says, I went to Meisner's because of you as well. Frank says, just say it. It was overrated. Oh, that's right. I did get you were very generous that night. We had a lovely time. Your Plaza review made us put it on our list, headed there in 8 days. It's not so much dining reviews, but the snacks, most definitely. Oh, Leah says, hi, how are you? We dined at the bar at Portobello's because of the review. Ultimately had our Disney wedding meet and greet there the night our guest flew in. Sanaa bread service. Right?
So good. So good we had to have it last night.
Katrina says Lou getting his own chair. There's the chair. Who's sitting in the chair? That's it. You're in the boathouse chair. That's the chair.
Oh my gosh.
What do you mean, That was so nice of them.
All of a sudden I get these messages. I have to have my name on a chair on the Disney Wonder. I have to have my name on a chair. Everywhere you go now, you have to have...
Yeah. What I think I might do, maybe I'll just make up my own little bronze plaques and just put them on the backs of a chair. and just see how long or I'll put them underneath a chair.
In a foreign land.
Somebody asked me, what's my favorite interview, and do they know that for restaurant reviews, do they know that I'm coming? Most of the time they don't. There are a few occasions that they do, but 99% of the time I just walk in with my little recorder and we just go and do our thing. My favorite interviews, it's the low-hanging fruit, but as a kid, sorry. So my two are obviously Richard Sherman and Mary Poppins and Julie Andrews, and to a certain degree they're both for the same reason, because as a kid, like the music from Mary Poppins and obviously the parks was so important to me, and Richard Sherman was like the nicest, he still is the nicest, most humble guy in the world. Because if you think about it, what show was Richard Sherman? Otis?
The
80?
WDW radio show.
80. So it was show 80. And it was pre D23, so it was before they were like, bringing a lot of the legends out. So most people didn't know or had heard from these people, and I'll never forget. People ask me all the time, like, how'd you find them? Like, who connected you? And I'm like, I basically found his home phone number because he had a company, and I went through the company, and I eventually sort of looked it up, and I called his house, and I talked to his wife, who was like the nicest lady in the world.
She is amazing. Elizabeth is...
And we talked for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget him. He was like, he literally asked me, he's like, why do you want to interview me? I'm like, do you know who you are? But he was incredibly gracious, and I got choked up at the end, and it was, but Julie Andrews, like if I would have called my mom and I was like, oh my God, I interviewed Richard Sherman, she'd be like, what do you do again? Why did I pay for law school? She would never really say that out loud. But when you say to your mom, I interviewed Julie Andrews, she says, why are you not a lawyer anymore? And then she says, oh, I know who Julie Andrews is.
What I want to know, is this out of all the interviews you've done, you've only texted me about one interview after you were done because you were so excited, and that was Julie Andrews. So how many people did you text that day? Just out of pure excitement.
I texted everybody. But I will tell you, other people that I really enjoyed interviewing was Kat Cora, who was very, very nice. And I interviewed her the day before she was going to give birth to her child.
Right.
And that's why, and I think, so it was that interview that my hard drive crashed. And I didn't have a secondary backup, which I do now all the time. And I was an IT geek, so I spent days trying to, remember when I spent, like, we still lived in Naples, I spent days trying to recover the hard drive with all, like, the tools, and I spent a ton of money on software. And I eventually had to spend like $2,200 to send the drive out to get the data off it, because I couldn't say, hey, you know that awesome interview we did? Can you shut that kid up for a second? Can we do it all over again? Which I did have to do one other time. I had to redo an interview.
Who was the interview?
Steven, the D23 guy. Who was the head of D23? Clark. Right, that guy. We had to redo an interview. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But nobody else knew except me and him, so... Stephen Williams says, I agree, the cruise and his concert was amazing, and he was so nice.
He really was.
And I will never forget, where's my kid? Like, Marion, what is the greatest moment ever in your life that you will remember and appreciate forever? Yeah, the Sherman thing. The fact that Richard Sherman sang you Happy Birthday.
Yeah, that.
Yes.
I just like cried, and I was like, you are dad of the flipping year right now. And I literally leaned into her and I said, you can never ever forget this moment.
Yeah,
and
pretty amazing.
That was four. Now I wish that was a 7-day, but still only.
What was most impressive? That was very nice. I never read these ahead of time. Were the outstanding questions you prepared from Richard Sherman? You brought out some excellent responses from him. That's the lawyer in you coming out, because you never ask a question that you don't either know the answer to or want to start directing people down a certain path. And so many times I think we hear interviews, especially in the Disney space, of people who are just not prepared, who don't know their guests, and I think it's disrespectful to them. Like, if they're giving you their time, you better believe I'm going to be prepared. Ridley Pearson is still one of my favorite guests, just because he's like the nicest guy in the world. Charlie Ridgway, I love. Jim Korkis.
He's got amazing stories.
Yeah. Does everybody remember the old Walt Disney World Inside Out shows on the Disney Channel?
Yeah.
J.D. Roth. Yeah. So when I interviewed J.D. Roth, he was a nice guy. He was cool. So I'm looking to see, Al Konechny, Alan Menken. He was great. Alan was great. Stan Soul says, to this day, one of the nicest men I've ever met was Ron Cohey.
Oh, yeah.
And that's true. Like...
He
is a good guy.
Another cruise.
So I'll tell you who my dream interview is. And it's not Bob Iger, because if you interview Bob Iger, he gives you anyway. He's got to give you the corporate answer.
If I answer it correctly, can we see the grease tape?
No, because you know the answer already. Because we've talked about it. Because you've asked me this question before. Rich O'Kane, it's not Ice Cube. It's not. It's not Ridley Scott. Happy birthday, Kelly Daniel.
I think I know.
I do.
Who is it?
Eisner, right?
Eisner, yeah.
Would you be interested in Iger now, after all the acquisitions and all the...
No, because
after he leaves the company.
When he leaves the company, then we'll talk. I want him to be like the Disney legends are now. Because the Disney legends are now, as they get more advanced in age, they got nothing to lose. Man, they just let it fly. Like, they don't... Bob Gurr has no problem sharing anything that you want to know show about anything.
Oh, Tony Baxter's pretty open too.
Yeah.
About things going on.
Scott Otis, what was the longest show I ever did? Other than not including 40 hours, but longest actual podcast, single episode. So according to the Matrix, the longest show was show 100 at 157 minutes.
Oh, really?
100 show roundtable. And then it was one at 154 minutes, which was the year in the review, 2000.
40-hour show longest?
You can't go. I want to get. Can I hug you off camera? Because if I get away from here, I don't trust her by herself. Thank you so much.
I wouldn't trust me by myself either.
You.
So love and appreciate you too. So proud of you. Awesome job.
I'm so
Congratulations
proud of
on
you.
500.
You were awesome today. Thank you.
You say thank you. Good job, man.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon. HealthyMoving.com. What was the first ever 2-part show that I ever did? That I had to break it up into 2 parts.
What was the first 2-parter?
Yeah, what was the first 2-parter?
Yeah. Jeff Curdy. The Jeff Curdy interview. We did a 2-part Adventures by Disney to China, and then the Great Movie Ride with Jim Corcus was the only other one that I did in 2 parts. What was for anybody, whether you were there, your favorite event that we ever did?
I know mine is.
Great Movie Ride dinner?
I loved it.
We were so close to that second one.
Tower Terror dinner was good
The
too.
Tower of Terror one sounded cool too. I didn't get to do that one.
That's the one we got to do again. I wrote that. We got to do that one.
I changed my mind because walking around the lobby of the Tower of Terror, like when they just kind of dropped the velvet ropes and were like, "Go ahead in and take pictures."
Yeah.
So other ones include the Adventurers Club, which was really like the first one that we did.
Why don't you name all of the events that we've done together?
Adventurers Club, Tower of Terror, the American Adventurers Club, the Great Movie Ride, World of Color out in Disneyland, if you want to throw that one in there too. A lot of people said Adventurers Club.
The Adventurers Club was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing.
Well,
especially pulling it off the way I had to at the last minute.
And the fact that it was the last, we sort of had the last time before the executives did it the night after, and then that was it. I thought the American Adventurers Club was cool because nobody ever done it before.
It was written specifically for us.
And it was sort of an American version of the. We weren't allowed to call it the American Adventures Club, but I called it the American Adventures Club anyway. So, we did have one, and we won't say what it was. We did have one that was tying into one of the audio guides.
Yeah.
That we had it ready to go, and then because they were doing construction on New Fantasyland, they needed that space and would not let us use it.
I was heartbroken.
John Delancey says number 1 rhymes with Schmotehouse. A lot of Pandoras, a lot of Haunted Mansions, a lot of Haunted Mansion and Pandoras.
What would you do in Pandora?
That'd be fun.
Who did the Disneyland first ever scavenger hunt?
I did.
I was there.
I hate you still.
Despite the hatred,
I enjoyed it. It was just
A lot of Toontown.
a lot of what?
Toontown.
Yeah, a lot of Toontown. I never want to step into Toontown USA ever again. But it made I had been in Toontown. I mean, this was only my second trip to Disneyland, and so we did Toontown a little bit. We did Roger Rabbit Cartoon Spin and all that, but I never really looked at all the detail that was in that until we did the scavenger.
And that's why I put so many questions there, because I knew you.
It was so hot.
Can you just do that in the Becky voice? Because that's.
There was no shade, and it was so hot.
Oh.
Don't cancel my vacations. Please don't cancel my vacations.
But it was, that was part of the point, was I wanted you to go to places that you didn't spend a lot of time. There was also a lot on Main Street, but Main Street's sort of an obvious choice. But that was part of the challenge. That's why it was called a
I was
challenge.
impressed because I had never been there. It was my first trip to Disneyland.
Right.
And it was, doable. I felt like we were, we weren't, major competitors, but we did okay.
You scored better than you think that you did.
We finished 4th. I still call shenanigans.
On what?
Their phone.
Yeah, I think so.
You think so? I don't think that your phone would have helped you very
And I
much.
also didn't know that you could talk to cast members. I thought you couldn't talk.
What?
I thought you couldn't talk to cast
There's a
members.
VHS.
There was nothing in the rules that said you could not talk to cast members. I said you couldn't call anybody, and you were on the honor system not to use your phone to look stuff up. I didn't. I specifically did not mention.
Because they kept offering to help us, and I thought we were being entrapped.
We went around to every single cast member.
So you,
if anybody speaks to you today, ignore them, whether they have a piece of paper or not.
So you think that I'm that much of a jerk that I would have tried to entrap you?
I wouldn't use the word jerk.
Is that something you'd want to do again?
Totally. Here.
Here?
I'd be down for here.
The only problem with here.
Problems?
No. Is that some knucklehead made these audio tours that have all kinds of questions and information about the park.
Then don't do Magic Kingdom. Do one of the other 3 parks.
God.
We didn't make audio guides for there yet.
I would own it.
Or did I?
I would own an Epcot quest.
Really?
Of course.
So wait a minute. Are you sort of throwing down the gauntlet that if I did an Epcot quest and announced it tonight, that you would almost guarantee the top spot, or at least the top 2?
So we get you to announce it tonight.
Richard says, which one of the audio tours was the most fun to make? I think I found that I learned the most in Liberty Square because I really sort of dug deep into it. So yeah, I like. I mean, Main Street maybe, but just for sentimental reasons because it was the first one. But I liked doing Liberty Square a lot. So.
Well, I will now. Where are we? Minute what?
All right. I want you to. I'm going to go around the horn. I want you to finish this sentence. I'll start this way. Because of WDW Radio, I blank. Sorry. Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird. Go ahead.
Ran a lot more miles, and being new to the area, met a lot of people from Chicago, so you have that connection.
Okay.
I have been so fortunate to meet some of the most important people in my life, and I am so grateful for how far you have come, for what you have built and created, not only for me, but for our wonderful family. If it wasn't for you, we would not have moved here, and I never in a million years would have thought that we would have moved here. If you would have told me 10 years ago that we would have moved to Florida, I would have said, Lewis, you're crazy. There's no way I'm leaving. And it was the best decision you ever made for our family.
You still say that I'm crazy. So
we know that.
For different reasons, you still say that I'm crazy.
I am so fortunate to have what you built for us on so many different levels, and I'm grateful beyond words.
Well, I have news for you.
We're not moving. We're not moving. We are not leaving. I am not packing up another house.
I missed the law
that's
so
it?
much.
No, but I do remember the second that you came down the stairs and you said to me, Deanna, I think it's ready to move to Florida. And I looked at you and I said, you know what? I think you're right. I think that night you went and you started packing.
I was running down the stairs as you were saying you were right.
I really believe,
like you were finishing the sentence.
Yes, I believe that night you started packing because I don't think you ever thought in a million years I say to you, yes, let's go. Nope. And literally within 2-3 weeks, we had the house on the market. We had just.
We didn't sell it in 2 weeks.
No,
but
we had just finished the last bathroom. The last bathroom in the house. It was our forever house. It was the money pit. It was truly. I had dreams of me coming home and Lewis was hanging from like the floor from like the two story. It was ridiculous. We had lickable wallpaper. Remember?
I unfortunately.
We had one in the kitchen.
In our kitchen.
In our
Did you ever see Willy Wonka?
kitchen. When we bought the house,
it was like all these little like rows of fruit and berries, and we walked in and we started like licking the wallpaper
it was
because
like
that's what
from
it looked like. It looked
Willy
like
Wonka.
Willy Wonka
Yeah,
wallpaper.
like it was crazy. And then the wallpaper in the foyer was so thick.
They didn't. When they did modifications to the house, they didn't strip the old wallpaper. They just kept on layering on. So the guy pulled the wallpaper off, and it stood up straight.
Up. Yeah,
because it was like that thick.
Yeah, and it was textured. So not only did it stand straight up, but all the texture was still left in the foyer. And it was a 4-bedroom Seton Hall Colonial.
I don't even think about it anymore.
Like yeah, I agree. But anyway, so that was supposed to be sincere.
Because of WDW Radio, I have fallen in love with well over 1,000 people. Wow, you get around, and I'm forever. That's
love.
Is it really love? And that's Ricky DJ Technoid Reed.
Extreme Light?
So, we love DJ Technoid Ricky Reed.
Yes, we do.
Who has done he did so many mixes for us too.
Mm-hmm. Sorry,
because of WDW Radio, I had the most coincidental meeting with a Englishman at the Tokyo Dining.
And that Englishman would be?
Oh, our good friend Martin, who's Brill.
Who is very Brill. Who just said the world is smaller, so many new friends because of the show.
Oh my gosh, Tony actually said something.
Did he say something? Yeah. I didn't read it because I just sort of block it out.
I know.
Because of W Radio, I have new family members. That must have been Charlene. There's no way he wrote that. Because of W Radio, I spend most of my vacation spending money on food because of the show. That's Emma McLaughlin from the UK.
Because of WDW Radio, I made it through the hardest time in my life.
Oh. Was that when you couldn't get a reservation at Boathouse? Was that it?
I wish it was.
I ditto that one. That was because of you guys. Seriously, I felt like when I thought I lost everything, I had friends all over the world, and it was just, there was always a person to lean on, and it was because of this community that you built. So, and everyone is just like magical. Everyone clicks, and you meet so many people that just fit right in. Well, some not so magical, but honestly, it's because of you that I run too. Because
sorry about
I know,
that.
right? Tomorrow's 20 miles. Yeah, that's gonna.
I just realized how much money I've cost you people on food and running.
When you wanted to cry the most, the show and the people made you smile the most.
Really, yeah, and sometimes it's because of that you'd message somebody and you needed a friend right then, and there's always that friend right there that will message you back and be right there, and you're not alone when you think you are. So I mean, there's so much more that you've created than meets the eye, really. And you've shown me the world, because I never would have gone to Alaska. I never would have taken these cruises. And when I did, and I thought, I don't want to travel by myself. At 5 a.m. when I was in my PJs trying to get coffee, someone was like, "Hi, Beatrice Feeney." I'm like, I haven't fixed my hair. But, but I wasn't alone, and then I'd run on the deck with these guys. So, there's so much more to it, and we thank you for that.
Wow, I have to follow that up. Jeez. Okay, because of you guys, I've made a ton of friends, people I probably wouldn't be friends with otherwise, and tried a lot of food and a lot of restaurants I wouldn't have tried otherwise.
Because of WDW Radio and the running team, I get up at 4:30 in the morning. And it's dark, and it's cold, and we get in the car and we drive to Epcot so we can get on a monorail and we can go all the way over to Magic Kingdom.
Wait, do you get a medal?
And I did get a medal. I do. We did.
We get to see Lou and Becky fight.
And we get to see, we get to go.
Mommy and Daddy are fighting again.
We get to go stand with our friends and with people. What? With people that we have met from all over, not just all over the country, but all over the world. And it's fun, and it might be dark and it might be cold, but it's magical and it's fun. And we thank you.
And God, we thank you for every single time we see you on that course. You do not know what you guys do for us. And I am so grateful every time I see you and your husband. I mean it. It is the greatest feeling. So thank you.
We're talking about running. We're still talking about running again. I'm exhausted just listening to it.
All right, my turn. Because of WDW Radio and Lou Moncello, I have met some amazing people who also are like family. I came to the show from a different avenue because I was on the Moms panel and blogging myself and kind of met him that way, but then I met everyone else that was, part of the WDW Radio family. Because of that, I met this guy. And we got married almost 2 years ago.
You did?
Yeah,
I didn't see any pictures about it on Facebook.
Oh, really? I'll do a few more. Also, I met Becky Menken and got a job when I really needed a pick-me-up in my life and had to kind of start over from square one. So everyone, and Deanna and the whole gang and all the family has been like family to me when I really needed people to be there. So it's been life-changing, to say the least.
Aww.
So thank you.
Ditto. No, seriously.
More history than
I was part of this family
pretty early on, I would say, but definitely because of Lou and the WDW radio show. I definitely have a lot more family members, and both immediate and also with some great friends, and I've had a lot of really just fantastic times that we've all had together. So, thank you, Lou.
What's your favorite time that we've ever had together? Don't say the incident.
Well, I probably.
Do you all know what the incident is, by the way?
No. Let's not reenact it, please.
I could do it.
No.
No, I'd say probably that time that we roomed together back
Dude.
at Disneyland.
Because of you, I will never room with anyone ever again.
See, I'm good for something.
Never.
Your wife barely gets in there after that
Yeah.
scenario, yeah.
I still think that you're imagining things.
Am I? Am I?
Yeah.
It's all right. Moving on.
Thank you.
Oh boy.
No, I'm gonna wait.
Oh god. I need my moment in the sun to shine.
You sure?
Oh yeah.
Because of WDW Radio, I left my job. No one gets
For like 4 years.
You were not supposed to.
I know. That's what I said. No. Listen. None of the decisions that I've made have been.
I mean, so I make some decisions, maybe at least some of the good ones, like dining decisions, maybe.
Dining decisions.
Okay.
But this is bigger. Like, no, none of the decisions that I've made have been because of you and this group, but they've been so much better because of this group. The things that I have done in the last couple of years, I think I've done with so much more confidence because of this wonderful family and the fact that somebody else had made the same crazy decisions. The miles I run are longer. The move was so much easier knowing that I was coming into this family. Everything about the last couple of years has been better because of this family that you've built. So thank you.
How am I supposed to say something after that? Because of all this, I made friends I'm going to have for the rest of my life. I never thought I'd run a marathon. I'm going to be running my third in January. I couldn't even run a mile in high school, and now I'm running marathons. I moved to Florida. Like, it was really one of the driving reasons that made me realize that I'm happy here more than I was when I lived up in New York. And also that there were other people out there like me that were huge Disney fans all over the country. Like, you didn't have to be here to, there wasn't... I talk about Disney to all my friends when I lived up in New York, and they were like, God, you're talking about Disney again? And here there are people that I can actually talk to about Disney, and they get it like I do. So, yeah.
Your Majesty, this is my moment to show. Why don't you listen? Just move your lips, and I'll do the voice for you. I'll do like a voiceover for you.
Because of WDW Radio, I drink.
I think you did that before we met. You might drink more.
No. Let's see. I probably would have more airline miles but it's okay to spend those because it's been great times. I think because of WDW Radio, I learned how to go to bed at 4 o'clock in the afternoon to try to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go hang out on the side of the road to cheer people. I never would have had the fun of the sweaty hug. That's still my favorite. Yeah. That's still my proudest moment. For those who don't know, I'm going to tell the story because it's going to change. I need some ideas. You're out there every morning, right? And by the fourth time or the sixth year or so, it was getting, a little tedious. Sorry, it was. We wanted to jazz it up. So we texted the running team, and Lou didn't know it. We texted the running team and said, $1 for every sweaty hug, up to 5, depending on how sweaty he ends up being.
What is awesome.
Don't encourage her.
It was awesome. So he didn't know it. So we're standing there, and all these people are running by and just grabbing him and hugging him and like rubbing themselves all over him. And by about the 20th person, he looks at me and he goes, "What the heck is going on?" I'm like going, they just love you. They really, really care about you, the person, and they want to show you. They could be a lot less wet if they did. So by about the 50th person, he got it. There was something going on. Deanna had come by that point. And I remember, Deanna, you looked at me and you said, "I've been telling people as I've been running to come and hug the guy that's in blue." So, the sweaty hug thing is gone. It's had its run. It's been wonderful. We need some new ideas. So if anybody has any great ideas about what could possibly I liked your idea, but that might be our flaw. That's our plan B.
Excuse
me? If nothing else comes up, the plan B.
You had the idea?
She's fabulous. Your wife is fabulous. More than anything. More than anything. This has introduced me to another family. And I have a sister over there that I love to pieces. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your wife. And I have a little bratty brother that I never knew I ever wanted one. And I have one now, who apparently does a really horrible job of impersonating me, from what I understand. And I never knew that I ever, because of WDW Radio, I've never wanted to get my hands on a VHS tape as badly as I ever wanted to have one in my hand right now. And there's one close, so I hear. You need to go to the bathroom or something, don't you? It's time for you to take a break. Deanna and I could take over for a little while.
Do you even still have a VHS? Say what?
I'll take over.
Nicholas, finish this sentence. Come here.
No, you got this.
Finish his sentence. Because of WDW Radio, I blank.
Know what the boathouse is?
You are awesome.
That's why he's my favorite son.
What about WDW Radio?
What?
I think that's a perfect answer. That's a perfect answer.
Perfect answer.
Because finish the sentence. Because of WDW Radio, I blank.
It's been a life-altering experience. I now live in Florida. Never thought I would actually get to live that dream. I have a dream job, and a lot of that has come from the relationships and the experiences I've had since starting to listen to mouse tunes way back when.
Wow.
When I got my one and only Apple product. That was before, I don't know that mouse tunes, was it ever on the non-iTunes platform?
It was. So when Mouse Tunes first came out, there was no podcasts weren't in iTunes. You had to have software was called like Juicer, or there was like 4 or 5 different applications that you could download in order to listen to podcasts. It was just about the time right before they started to be introduced into iTunes. But still to this day, I have to explain to people what a podcast is. So, what was your favorite episode ever of the show?
That's easy, and it hasn't changed over all of, even though I've listened to every episode except for the ones I'm on. It's the Richard Sherman episode. Yeah. That I could listen to every week and never grow tired of the stories.
Wow.
What's an episode that I've never done that you would like me to do? Or an interview? Something I've never done before.
Snacks in Japan.
I actually did, years ago, I did a video. Oh no, it actually wasn't Snacks in Japan, but I did, with Glenn, I tried like the crabs, the little dried crabs. I think I grabbed like...
Oh, I remember that.
I remember that.
Yeah. That was a long time ago.
No, the best was the squishy salmon.
No. Oh, in terms of things I've gotten in the mail.
The best was the plums, the pickled plums.
Oh my God.
They're good.
What?
Oh no.
The pickled plums.
Not these pickled plums. No.
They're Japanese.
No, not these. These. If Satan himself were to birth something, and that's what it was, it was foul. Like it was rotten.
It was one of the first years
It's worth. There's
He didn't even try that.
I know, but
It had to be.
I'm gonna eat that one day. I'm so.
The 1,000-year-old egg.
I always wanted to try one. Sorry, I'm gonna see it.
He was good enough to try things that people brought.
Right.
So
right.
we were at Mouse Meats up in the Seattle area, and somebody had brought you this wonderful basket of stuff. So you were trying one thing after another, and then you opened this wonderful jar, which I don't remember if it's actually popped when it opened or not. So it could have been that had been sitting there for quite some time.
In the heat, probably.
And the setup was like this. So it's facing the camera, and behind us is a dock area, right, with a door. And he put this thing in his mouth, and his face turned about 7 shades of purple and red, and he looked like he was going to throw up right there on camera. So he took off. Jeremy and I are standing there watching this all go down. He runs one direction, and Jeremy and I look at each other, and then he runs the other direction.
It was like a cartoon, right? It was like a cartoon, right?
Somewhere to spit out this wonderful pickled plum. But I think that you still said that was the most disgusting thing that you've ever
They
eaten.
are
That was
big, though. Like they're Japanese.
Yeah, but I'm with you, but I have to believe that this one was
We
spoiled
have to get you a proper one.
because
I'm curious.
Because it tasted like death. Like it tasted like death.
It smelled horrible.
No, I mean there was something wrong with this.
It smelled so bad.
The pickled plum. By the way, Emma McLaughlin. I actually interviewed Alan Menken on show 196. So she's like, that's the one she said she wanted to hear. There's only 2 things that I've never. What? There's only one thing I've never eaten ever. Because I get a lot of weird stuff in the mail. So the only thing that I've never eaten was I got a package because so many of you have been generous.
Is this like the pop? Is this like?
No, there's one thing I've never eaten.
Like the salmon?
The salmon. So I got a package from Alaska, and there was all kinds of like salmon jerky, and I open it up and I just try it live on the show, and we do it on Wednesday nights. And in the package was this large thing of sockeye salmon, and it was squishy.
Yeah, they're always packaged that way.
No. It was squishy in a. Maybe it didn't have the tightest vacuum seal. This thing has been sitting in a FedEx truck in the Florida heat for like a couple of days, kind of squishy. And I think I made I chose wisely.
How do you tell that squishy from just standard squishy?
Because, like, if it was vacuum sealed, I'm an attorney. I know exactly what I'm talking. You can tell when something was sealed properly. Yeah,
of the salmon in the sealed pouch.
I've tried ghost pepper, Jonathan. So that's the weirdest thing. I don't know if that's the weirdest thing I've ever gotten. It's the only thing I've never eaten. I've gotten some wacky UK stuff, food-wise. Amanda I would love to try some Aussie fare. You should try the Pocky chip made with Carolina Reaper peppers live one week. Okay.
Carolina Reapers are no joke.
All right, Chris.
Don't like you on
that might be.
These are the people I call my friends, but I'll try. I would try it to say that I tried one. So nobody ever answered. So we know where we want to go. Anything that I haven't done on the show, haven't talked about, or somebody you want to hear from?
This probably be easy. You know Alex Mayer?
Yeah.
He's the artist at Disney, and that would be interesting enough. But his hobby is Walt Disney, and he teaches a class at Disney about Walt Disney. That might be a very interesting show.
So he's one of the first people. What are you hitting me for? He's one of the first people I ever interviewed, but it was on Mouse Tunes.
I have an idea.
Him, Brian went to the Barnes & Noble on Sand Lake Road and did an interview there. But I don't think he's ever actually been on WDW Radio. So you're right. I will. I'll do it, Alex.
Very interesting.
Dining Review, Victoria and Albert's Chef's Table. I'm in for that one.
You owe me so many different dining reviews and lounge reviews. You've been promising me a lounge review for 6 years.
No, listen. I will give you top 10 lounges in Walt Disney World.
You've been saying that for 4 years.
Maybe we should do it, and then we'll somehow pick a nation member to join in.
Oh, that'd be fun.
No auction.
There's one that's my. Okay, I know my favorite.
What's your favorite?
The Geyser Point. I like that.
Geyser Point?
The choice.
That was
Thank you,
nice.
Christopher.
Territory Lounge is good too. Do they still have the pretzels with the cheese?
He would never do it.
They still have the fondue there?
I think so.
Maybe we should go check it out. Good night, everybody.
It scares him.
So Emma McLaughlin, I interviewed. You missed this before. I interviewed Alan Menken back on show 196.
This is awesome to see how you find that information so quickly.
Yeah, so
now we know the secrets.
Yeah, somebody actually made that up for me. So let's take a couple of phone calls really
that's a
quickly.
good idea.
Yeah, Marion just wants to hear me get all sobby.
No, I don't.
Hey, it's Lou. You're on the air.
Hello. I'm going to guess that you know who this is.
Of course I know who this is. It's Terry Stinson Doherty.
Okay, so let me answer all those questions that you haven't seen. Let's see, the top 10 smells.
Top 10 smells.
Yeah, it probably was Richard Sherman. Anyway, and the top 10 shows that you should do, I still say music for all 4 parts. Music.
I'm coming back to that. I promise you I'm coming back to that. I'm going to come back and do... I've never repeated an episode. I've never repeated a show topic since from Mouse Tune days to now, although I will tell you, I am going to redo music in the parks, and I'm also going to redo the 7 Wonders of Walt Disney World.
Oh, good.
Love that.
There we go. All right.
So what were the 7 Wonders of Walt Disney World?
Spaceship Earth.
Am I being quizzed on this?
You can join in.
The cast members was cast members. Wait, what did they say? I didn't even hear it.
He said
that's the.
So it's Spaceship Earth, Audio Animatronics, Monorail, not the Boathouse, Cinderella Castle.
I say cast members. Cast members right here.
Cast members. Yep.
Yes, that was my one contribution there. I don't want to, hog the stage.
Scott Otis.
Scott Otis, look at you. So I will revisit those 2 topics. I'll definitely revisit those.
Well, that will be absolutely wonderful. And I'm supposed to finish the sentence, which I did, but radio. What I would do different. Oh, blah! If I hadn't found WDW Radio, I would not have the amazing people, which include at least 4 people that you have sitting behind you, including Lisa and both Nikki's and Beatrice Feeney. So. Yes.
So she said if it wasn't for WDW Radio, she wouldn't have the amazing friendships that she has with so many people, including some of the people that are sitting here, like Lisa and Nikki's, Beatrice Feeney, not Becky, but most of everybody else.
Don't do that. You're so awful.
Well, Terry Stinson Doherty, because of you, listen, thank you so much. I am so grateful to you and the friendship that we have cultivated and grown over the last few years.
I am grateful to you very much as well, and I will eventually move down there. We know it's going to happen, right?
And I will continue to endeavor to convince your hubby to move down here. All the cool kids are doing it. Look.
That's right. Yay!
All the cool kids.
Okay. Florida cult.
You just they're sitting right here. They can hear what you're saying.
Yes, I realize that.
I embrace it. I embrace it fully.
She embraces it fully. Listen,
right.
There's worse cults to be in. You guys want some Kool-Aid?
Oh.
What? Too soon?
It's the best Kool-Aid. It's so good. Anyway, yes,
soon.
you guys have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you again later. And
talk to you soon.
Take care, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Hey, this is Lou. Welcome to the last episode of WDW Radio.
Exactly.
Hello.
Hello.
Just take over. Just grab the mic.
Hi. Hi, Lou. Hi, everybody.
Hi, who's this?
This is Christine Morrison in Flourtown, PA.
So go ahead. So finish the sentence. Because of WDW Radio, I...
Okay, so because of WD Radio, there's so many things, but I have changed my outlook every day to be more positive. Okay, first of all. And I'm the one who wrote, I'm taking a leap of faith. I'll let you know if it works out.
Okay. So she's changed her
we'll
to a much more positive one, and she's taking a leap of faith.
Yes. So we'll see. I'm thinking about changing my career, so I'll let you know if it works out. So we'll see. But it's all because of you guys.
It's all because. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of pressure. What career are you currently in?
Okay, so right now I am a veterinary technician.
Okay.
For the past 22 years, but it's a very physical job, and I'm starting to see myself having trouble with the physical part, and so now I'm rethinking what am I going to do with the rest of my life.
Well, the best thing I can tell you is think about something that you would get excited to get up and do. If money was no object, something that you can get up and do every single day and be upset to go to sleep at night because you just want to continue working on it. And that's the thing that you should go and do.
I have to tell you, I mean, I think I know what that is, but I'm not going to tell you guys yet because I don't want to jinx it. But I get so excited about it that I feel like that's the direction that I need to go.
Well, good. And if there's ever anything I can do to help you out, just please let me know.
Momentum 18. Thank you. You guys are having such a great time, and let me tell you, it's so nice to put a face with the voices that I listen to every week. So it's awesome. I'm so glad I found you guys. My sister told me about you guys, and it's been such a joy.
Well, good. Well, thank you so much. And tell your sister I said thank you, too.
I will. Enjoy the rest of your night. I hope you guys are warm down there. I'll be thinking about you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Yep. I was going to say before things got out of hand, but I think it's too late for that.
Yep.
We are
off the rails.
Clearly. I think we will start to wrap things up very quickly. So good night, everybody.
So you're going to tell everybody about what's been important to you over the last 500 episodes and what this has all meant to you.
You're such a jerk.
I know.
You just want to hear me.
No, I think it's important for you to look back over the last 500 episodes of what you've accomplished over the time and tell us what you think is more important or most important from.
I think it's what we have accomplished. I feel that I am just a facilitator, as opposed to. So when people talk about it's what I have done, I think it's what we have done. Like. This happens not because of me, but it's a collective. It's us. I said from the very beginning when I started my discussion forums back in January of 2004, because I didn't like what I saw elsewhere online in terms of people being mean and flaming each other. I wanted a place that Array could come to. I said, I just built the clubhouse. Like, you guys are the ones that populated it. You guys form the community. I just sort of make sure that, the lights stay on.
You were the enabler. No, you came up with great concepts. You guys, you all work together to.
Enabler sounds almost like it's a negative thing. A facilitator.
A facilitator.
A facilitator.
Yeah, I'll buy that. Because of WDW Radio.
My physique has changed immeasurably.
It's kind of square right now too.
I have. Listen, it's easy to say, because of W Radio, I left my career, I am doing something that I love every day, I have, my life has changed. But to say that my life has changed in profound ways is an understatement. There could be easily a top 10 ways that it has changed for me personally. I say it all the time, and I have no problem admitting it. Like, I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. And by growing up, I meant grammar school and high school and college and law school and everything else. Right. But now I feel as I have I don't just have friends, I have a family. I hate you, Becky.
I know. I hate you more.
I do. I have a family that is beyond the people who are just in this room here or in this box here. People that I have not met before, people around the world, and it's incredibly humbling to me to know that collectively we reach and hopefully positively. Somebody said about the positive impact. Like, that's all I want to do. I realized as I sort of look back, I wanted to be a lawyer because I wanted to help people. Like, I did plaintiff's work because I wanted to and then I was doing IT stuff because I wanted to help people, connect. And I started the Disney stuff because I wanted to help people have a better Disney vacation. But I think it's more than that. And I think what I've gotten is the help that you guys have given me, not just in being able to pick up my family and move to Florida, where we can sit outside in the middle of November, but to do something that I never could have imagined 10 years ago when I wrote my first book. I never would have imagined that it came to this. And of all the things that I've done, of all the things I've seen, of all the people that I've gotten a chance to interview, of all the amazing meals that I met, this and WDW Radio and everything else has impacted me because of you. It's because of the people. And the biggest reward, the best takeaway is not necessarily knowing that I've helped people, but the friendships that I've made and the relationships that I've made. And it means more to me than I'm clearly having a tough time articulating. But so that's why I said this was a celebration of you, and you individually, and you, the community, because I appreciate every single one of you. I understand and appreciate how important your time is, and the fact that you share it with me means a lot. And together, we have done 500-ish shows. Despite rumors to the contrary, this is not my swan song. This is not the goodbye. As long as one person keeps listening, I will keep doing this. So I did this tonight because I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for the gift and the gifts that you continue to give me each and every week. Whether it's a sweaty hug, whether it's your presence, whether it's an email, those gifts mean an incredible amount to me. And for that, I am eternally grateful. You have positively impacted my life in incredibly profound ways. I always say that sometimes we don't know how the things that we do might impact people and the ripple effect. I don't think you guys know the impact that you have had on me, and I did it without crying. So, thank you.
What was your favorite memory?
Non-sweaty group hugs are fine.
What was your favorite memory or favorite event, or the thing that's, if there was one thing you could redo and do over again, what would it be?
That I could redo?
Mm-hmm. You could relive.
Not like do it over again, like just have that same experience again?
Yeah. If you go back in time and go back to any interview or any event or anything that you've done in the WDW radio community, what would that be?
Okay. So the very first Meet of the Month I ever did in January of 2008, when I was afraid that nobody was going to show up.
Where was it?
At the Tomorrowland Terrace, during Marathon Weekend. And I don't just love it because Tony Caggiano was hiding off in the background behind a pole, too scared to come up and walk up, which is awesome in and of itself. But that was sort of the first time that I saw, in front of me, a community come together. And I realized that you guys were building something special. I loved all the cruises, but there was something special about the Richard Sherman cruise. And I think, this is where I'm definitely going to try not to cry. I think the first time that we met the Make-A-Wish family, you cannot understand the importance and the impact of seeing in front of you the tangible result of what you do. Whether it was fundraising, running, auctions, whatever, when you see that kid and his or her family and the looks on their faces, and now we get to see it every January, but that first time with that first kid, knowing that you're the reason why they're there was no single sort of moment that I remember more than that.
Okay. What are you looking forward to most in the next 500 episodes?
I'm looking forward. The unexpected for me is the biggest, most exciting part, because everybody's like, what are you going to, I don't know what's coming next. I don't know where the technology is going to go. I don't know where the community is going to go. I don't know what I do is going to change. And that's exciting to me because I'm always looking to innovate. I'm always looking to figure out what's next. And that's the thing that helps get me out of bed in the morning, is that excitement of what is going to be around that next turn, what that new thing is going to be.
Okay. So in the things that are coming...
Is this 20 questions with Lou Mongello?
I'm having fun with this.
Oh my gosh.
Because I hardly ever get to do this. It's kind of fun. So everything that's coming, we know about some exciting stuff that's coming to Walt Disney World and to the Disney fan community and for attractions and so forth in the theme parks. What is a thing, besides Tron, that you're excited about?
The thing that I'm most excited about is something that I can't tell you about.
And I was hoping that I could get you to say something more.
I have 2 words for you.
Mm-hmm.
3 words for you. Epcot Center. Epcot,
money in there.
Epcot's going to be a very different park 7 years from now. Yeah.
Yep.
7.
Yep.
So out of everything is coming, that's the one that you're most excited about then. Okay.
No, I mean, there's something else, but I can't say it in front of you.
I can leave for 2 seconds. I'm gone. Say it. I'm coming back. Okay.
Is that it? Is the interview over?
No, I'm having a lot of fun here.
If I gave you all one sort of ask me almost anything question, what would it be?
Wait, individually or?
Individually.
As a group?
No, individually.
As a group, and then one question. So anything you wish you'd done that you didn't do differently?
I don't think I would do anything differently because I think the choices that I make have led me here. So I would never sort of look back because once you sort of kill the butterfly, who knows what direction things would happen.
Okay.
I was just quickly looking at
That's 2.
questions in the box. All right, any sort of last questions from the box? Anything? Going once?
Yeah.
Going twice?
If you had your choice between London, Paris.
Where can you find my DJ book? I saw one on Amazon.
Do we have one?
I have a few. Huh? I have a couple upstairs
Auction it
too.
off. I bet you could get a lot of money for
My
that.
DJ handbook?
Yeah.
Going to Hong Kong and Shanghai and Tokyo, right? I'll
call you back.
Gave you that wonderment. Again, you got to experience Disney for the first time again.
Right.
And that's a feeling I know I missed. And being able to experience that again for the first time, going on attractions that we'd never seen or experienced before. Did you have that same feeling? Or do you miss that?
No, because I don't go so often. I went to what park was I in the other day? I went to Hollywood Studios, and I was like, God, I haven't been here in a long time. And there was something like new and fresh about it, and I'm like, that's good because if I went there every week, it would be so sort of pedestrian to me that it wouldn't have that same feeling. So I still smile when I walk into Magic Kingdom, and I still get excited at Food and Wine Festival. I mean, I mean, the fact that it's right. I mean,
shocker.
So.
And but you do go to the boathouse like every week, and it still has that.
I am going.
That seafood tower.
Oh my God.
You hear the angels sing, don't you?
You really do.
God, we should go there tonight.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Brandon,
We need a table for like 30, please.
Brandon.
Ricky DJ Technoid says, I'm not crying, you're crying. I didn't cry. I got this without crying. I didn't get a chance to take as many calls as I was like, God, there's no way I can do this for 3 hours. And then I remembered Lou Mangello. And time went way faster than I thought it would. And even though you're not here with us, you are here with us in spirit. Guys, thank you. I know we're sort of making light of it, but I cannot thank you guys enough. Father Christopher, I was hoping to get an auction done at the end of this year, but we're going to do one in the spring. We're going to do another a Dream Team auction in the spring. But thanks to all of you guys. Thanks to all of you guys for being here tonight, last week, from whether you started listening at Show 1, Mouse Tunes, or just last week. I'm truly, truly grateful to and for you. Everybody must be hungry.
So cool.
Congratulations to you guys on 500 shows and for all the joy that you have brought together as a community, for what you have done for me. You keep listening. I will keep going as long as you want. And if there's ever anything I can do to show my appreciation to you and for you, please let me know. I don't throw this word around a lot, but I mean it sincerely when I say, whether I've met you or not, I love you and I appreciate you, and thank you for the gifts that you continue to give me each and every week. I hope that the show brings you a little bit of happiness, however and wherever you may be. So thanks to all of you guys. I appreciate it. Thanks as always to Becky Mankin from MEI and Mouse Fan Travel for all your vacation planning needs. Whether you're going to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Adventures by Disney.
Can you get any more enthusiastic about this? Because I don't know, we got
commercial show voice.
We got England, we got Paris, we got Ireland now.
Listen,
Italy, we've got Japan.
Listen, I wanted to say thank you for not only helping to keep the lights on, but thank you for the friendship that you have extended me for more than a decade as well.
That's very nice.
I'm not going to screw it up. I'm afraid if I say anything else, I'm going to start to screw it up. So there's no punchline. There's no punchline.
It's been.
We could not do this. We could not do this without you. You are. as much part of this community. You're as much part of my family as you are this community. And you two have helped so many people in a lot of different ways. And for that, I am grateful. That is why I trust you. It's why I recommend you. And that's why I'm proud to call you my friend.
Aw, thank you.
Wow.
I know. I even felt I felt weird saying it.
Wow. There's so many years.
What? Nikki's got the cue card. I'm just reading right off it.
So many years, so many great plans, so many great things for the community ahead of us.
And so many things you don't know about.
So many things you don't know.
I literally took the board down tonight just in case you snuck upstairs.
Well, thank you. And we couldn't do what we do without you and the community and you guys supporting us, so thank you for your support, too.
Thank you. And thank you, guys. Here's to another 500, so cheers. So as I was preparing for the show this week and talking with everyone during the live broadcast on Saturday, there was a lot of discussion about some of our favorites in terms of our favorite episodes, our favorite segments, our favorite guests. And after we were done recording, I continued to get that question a lot in terms of what are some of my personal favorites, or better yet, what are some that I would recommend to maybe somebody who hasn't been listening for all 10 years or who found the show relatively recently. So instead of giving you top 10s-ish, I'm going to give you my personal top 5. I'm going to give you my top 5 interviews, my top 5 live dining reviews, my top 5 top 10s, and then I'll give you my top 5 overall episodes over the past 10 years of WDW Radio. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. Think about this as more sort of a quick start list if you are a relatively new listener or if you haven't necessarily heard all 500 shows. So here you go. So here are my top 5 interviews over the past 500 shows. When I say top 5, it doesn't necessarily mean my favorite or the best. There's just something about these that I think are ones you should go back and listen to. So here you go. Top 5 interviews from the past 10 years. Number 5, Imagineer, Disney legend George McGinnis, back on show number 27. If you are a fan of things like Space Mountain and Horizons, it's fascinating to hear George talk about those attractions and the process. On show number 30, you might not know the name, but I'm sure you know the work of Steve Kirk. He did a lot of work, not just in the domestic parks, but overseas as well. If you are a fan of Journey into Imagination, and deep down I know you are, go check out show number 30. I almost swapped this one out with show number 160, which was my first time I interviewed Don Hahn and Peter Schneider, but this is just me sort of throwing in an extra one. That's why it's top 5-ish. Number 3, show number 196, composer, musician Alan Menken. We talked about all of his work right around the time that Tangled had come out, and it was just a fascinating interview. Really, really personable guy. Number 2 and number 1, I was back and forth on these. Alice Davis almost made the list at 193 just because I had to bleep her. But number 2, close. Number 2 at show number 127 is Julie Andrews. And in the number 1 spot, show number 80, show number 135, the WDW Radio Cruise and the Disney Dream, and other events in between, Mr. Richard Sherman of the Sherman Brothers. So there's my top 5-ish interviews. Here's my top 5 live dining reviews, which I do not just because I'm hungry like all the time and it's a good excuse to go eat in Walt Disney World, but I do these as a way to, number 1, make you feel like you are sitting with us at the table, sharing and enjoying a meal together. But I also want you to virtually experience it and maybe turn you on to a dining location or some food that you might not have tried before. So top 5 live dining reviews, somewhat in no necessarily particular order other than number 1. Number 5, at show number 435, it's not necessarily the kind of dining review you might expect because it's not a sit-down dinner, but it was afternoon tea at the Grand Floridian, and it was a wonderful, pinky up, delicious experience. Spoiler alert, I loved it and would love to do it again. Show number 204 comes in at number 4. That's Todd English's Blue Zoo. I don't know. How is it so at 4? It almost became number 1 and somehow got lost in the shuffle at number 4. It was one of my early dining reviews. It was one of the best dining experience that I've ever had at Walt Disney World. I don't even need to look at the menu, because I know that I'm getting the tuna with the frozen sriracha aioli on top, and then choosing between either the miso glazed miro for dinner or the Cantonese lobster, which I promise will change your life. Coming in at number 3, Jock Lindsay's Hanger Bar, where we literally ordered everything on the menu. That was show number 428. Live review number 2 on the list was show 458, and it was the Tutto Gusto live review with Becky Mencken. We had a lovely time at Tutto Gusto Wine Bar in Italy, and it was a wonderful experience. I could have just done that picky food all night long, and it would probably come as no surprise to you, me, or anyone that knows me that show number 448 is my number 1 live dining review. It is the Boathouse in Disney Springs, also known as my home away from home. It is far and away my favorite restaurant, not just in Walt Disney World, but possibly like the entire world itself. It's amazing, and I'm starving. Here you go. How about a top 5, top 10 episodes? This was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, because we've done so many. We've had so much fun doing it over the years, and having never repeated an episode, we've talked about a lot of different things from many different angles. So here you go. Here's my top 5, top 10. Number 5, show number 269, the top 10 wow moments in Walt Disney World. These are sort of, I'll let you listen, but they're sort of individual moments that just make us sort of pause or reflect or elicit emotion, or we just enjoy so very much. That's show 269. That was almost unseated by show 142, which is things we miss in Walt Disney World. You know, if you've listened to me before, I'm a huge nostalgic, so things we miss almost made the list, but I snuck that one in instead. Show number 319 comes in at number 4. That's taking Walt to Walt Disney World. It's top 10 places we would take Walt Disney in Walt Disney World. I invite you to go back and take a listen to that one. It was a very interesting conversation that we had about where we would take Walt today and why we would do it, and maybe speculating as to what he might think. In number 3, show number 352, the top 10 myth, of Walt Disney World. That's an old Muppets reference. The top 10 myths of Walt Disney World covers everything from its origins to the parks, the resorts, things that didn't come to be, and things that we maybe speculate might be coming, but we maybe debunk or undebunk some popular and maybe not so well-known myths about Walt Disney World. Coming in at number 2, recent show number 494. I just personally really enjoyed talking about our top 10 corny, nostalgic, and sentimental things we still love about Walt Disney World. And coming in at number 1, it's an oldie, but I think still a goodie. Maybe one that I'll have to still revisit, though. But I still get emails about this all the time. It was a bit of a leap of faith when I talked about my love of a certain smell in Walt Disney World that I was afraid, because remember, it was only 75, nobody else would get. But the top 10 smells of Walt Disney World is still a personal favorite. And finally, my top 5 all over favorite episodes of the show. This was very difficult to put together. This list is written in very, very light pencil, and the order is not one that is set in any sort of stone. But here's a few episodes that I think you should go back and check out if you haven't in the past. Coming in at number 5, a very old show from the very first year of WDW Radio, show number 12, which was an Epcot retrospective on Horizons. We also did a best of the best. When early on, the show had multiple segments in it. So we did an Epcot retrospective on Horizons, and we also did a best of the best, which are character meals outside the parks. Coming in at number 4, again, an old one from the very first year of WDW Radio, show number 30. I mentioned him in my top 5 interviews you should listen to, Steve Kirk, the Imagineer Steve Kirk. We also did a Wayback Machine about the Orange Bird. And remember, show number 30 was back in 2007. This is before the Orange Bird came back to Walt Disney World. So we sort of profess our love and nostalgia for the Orange Bird. That one almost did. I almost didn't put that one in there because I had mentioned Steve Kirk before. I almost put in its place show number 104, which was a twofer. It was top 10 things in Walt Disney World that are better at night, and an interview with Disney animator, artist, and now a man I can call my friend, Ron Cohey. So that was show number 4. I needed to sneak that one in too. Number 3 on the list, show number 89, was the opening of T-Rex Cafe. It was the very first video I ever did. I interviewed the 2009 Walt Disney World ambassador, and we did a show with an Imagineer about how to become an Imagineer. It's a question I get all the time, one that I am certainly not qualified to answer, but I brought somebody on board who was qualified, and I think gives some really good insight into the process and some guidance for anyone who's maybe thinking about a career at Imagineering or even at Walt Disney World. Number 2 is, I think, a sentimental favorite. It's probably timing being everything. I've been thinking about my dad a lot recently, as his birthday is coming up. What would have been his birthday is coming up this week. And top 10 things to do with your dad in Walt Disney World. And you can sort of interchange dad with brother, son, mom, sister, grandma, whatever it might be. But these are just some top 10 things that you can do together as a family that I think will create some of those memorable experiences that I had with my dad and made me love Disney the way I do. And my number 1 overall episode that I think you should go back and listen to, I can't. I can't. I spent a lot of time and literally got a little weepy looking through the list because with more than 500 episodes and 12 years of doing this, not even the other show beforehand, you sometimes forget about some of the ones that you've done. And as I was looking through the list, I was reminiscing as I could remember recording them, or the person that I spoke to, or how excited I got, or where I was, or what that episode meant to me. And I did reflect on what a journey this has been, the smiles that you have brought to my face, the change and the impact in my life that hopefully I have reciprocated, at least in some small way, by creating the show with you and for you. But I would love to know from you. I want to know, what is your favorite overall episode, your favorite top 10, your favorite review, your favorite interview? Please do me a favor. You can either email me, lou@wwradio.com. Better yet, go to facebook.com, click on show 500. I would love to have a conversation about what your favorite episodes or shows or topics were, or maybe something that you'd like to see in the future. Let's keep the conversation going there. You can also call the voicemail at 407-900-9391. Leave your answer there, and I will play it on an upcoming show. Again, I hope you like this little top 5-ish list of some of my personal favorite or most memorable or shows that I recommend that you go back and listen to. So thank you again for 500, and here's to 500 more. It's time for our Walt Disney World Trivia Question of the Week, where I invite you to test your knowledge of Walt Disney World's history, or see how well you pay attention to the details, not just know what you see, but sometimes know what you hear. If you think you know the answer, you can enter via our online form for a chance to win a Disney prize package. But of course, before we get to this week's question, we're going to go back, review last week's, and select our winner. So last week, I wanted you to identify a quote from an attraction or a show, maybe current or extinct, in Walt Disney World. And the quote I asked you to identify was, "But let's not talk about me, let's talk about you, and how you can help me make history today." Well, again, thanks to the hundreds of you who entered, got this one correct, and knew that came from Dr. Seeker in Dinosaur in Disney's Animal Kingdom. Well, I took all the correct entries, randomly selected one, and again, you were playing for my 102 Ways to Save Money for an At Walt Disney World book, all 7 of my virtual audio tours of the Magic Kingdom, both of which are still on sale for just $10 each in the WDW Radio store. I'm also going to send you a Magic Band cover, some stickers, and a new WDW Radio pop socket and stand for your phone. And last week's winner is Greg Vaughn. So, Greg, congratulations because you used the online form. I have your shipping address. I will get your prize package out to you right away. If you played last week and didn't win, that's okay, because here's your next chance to enter in this week's Walt Disney World-ish Trivia Challenge. So I said ish because this week's trivia question is not necessarily about Walt Disney World. I'm going to ask you a trivia question about WDW Radio. We had a lot of fun during the live show talking about some of our favorite episodes and segments and guests. And your trivia question this week is to tell me simply when or what episode was the very first top 10 that I ever did on WDW Radio. Better yet, tell me what that show was about and the show number. You have until Sunday, November 19th, to go to WDWRadio.com, click on show 500, use the online form there. Again, you're going to play for the book, the audio tours, the Magic Band cover, the stickers, the pop socket, and because it's show number 500, I'm going to send you a mystery prize. Maybe I'll send you a t-shirt. So good luck and have fun.
WDW Radio, your information station. WDW Radio.
If something sounds just a little bit different about this version of the WDW Radio theme song, it is, I want to say big thanks to the song's composer and creator, Dave Rashoni, and his wife, Kathy, for coming up with the original song. Kathy did an entire voiceover version. Maybe I'll play at the end. But I also want to say thanks to Danny Osmond, who worked with Dave to create this special 500th episode a cappella version. Thanks to Dave, thanks to Kathy, and thanks to Danny. That's going to do it for this week's show. I cannot believe that together we have hit show number 500, again-ish, because there's been so many more episodes and live broadcasts and special events over the years, but it doesn't matter because the point is still the same, which is I could not have done this without you, and I am so incredibly grateful to you and for you for your time and your friendship and the love and the support that you have given me. From the people who bought my first trivia book back in 2004 to the first members of the DisneyWorldTrivia.com forums to the members of the WDW Radio Nation now and everyone in between. This has been and continues to be an amazing journey, and one of which I am incredibly grateful and very much aware of just what this means and what together we have been able to do and accomplish. Thanks to some of the new members of the nation who have joined, the hundreds of you who have been so incredibly helpful in supporting the show, including Tom Zukas, Karen Lucy, Angela Schimmels, Caroline Conahan, Amanda Bowner, and Josh Anderson. If you would like to find out how you can also continue to help the show and get cool rewards every month, I send out monthly scavenger hunts from the parks, logo gear, backpacks, t-shirts, monthly care packages. We do exclusive live video group calls and lots more. You can visit WDWRadioNation.com. And please don't forget that a portion of your contributions do go to our Dream Team project to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation of America. Please also don't forget, whether you're a new listener or been listening for a long time, that in addition to the show, I invite you to please go to WDWRadio.com. Check out the blog. We have an amazing team of blog writers. Please join me every Wednesday night and throughout the week during other events and times for WDW Radio Live, where I broadcast live either from the home studio or from the parks. If you go and like the WDW Radio page on Facebook, turn on notifications, you'll be sure and be able to join us every time we go live. The show is normally every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I'd also love to connect with you elsewhere on social. I am at Lou Mongello on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. If you have a question you want me to answer on the show, you can email me, lou@wdwradio.com. Or if you want to call the voicemail, be heard on the air, you can call 407-900-9391. I hope to not only hear from you online and connect with you there, but to give you a handshake and a hug in person. That's why I continue to do Meets of the Month every month. Stay tuned, as I'll have information about December's Meet of the Month coming up. And if you can't join us then, hopefully you can join us in the future for a Meet of the Month or a special event. We still have a few cabins remaining for our cruise to Alaska in June 2018. If you visit the events page at facebook.com/WDW Radio, you can find out about that and other events we have coming up. I also try and do meetups on the road as I travel to speak. And speaking of speaking, if I could come to speak to your conference, to your event, even to your school, or just to your business, or maybe help you turn your passion into profession with personal mentoring or group coaching, you can visit LouMongello.com. Also, in the next couple of weeks, I will be launching a new mastermind group limited to just 6 people. Go to LouMongello.com, click on coaching. You can find out more there, or email me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. Thanks again to Becky Mankin for all of her support over the years and her entire team. Again, if you're booking your trip, not just to a Disney destination, but anywhere in the world, you can visit mousefantravel.com. And little Timmy Foster over celebrationspress.com. And as always, my friend, and you are my friend, and you continue how you've shown it to me for more than 10 years and more than 500 shows. But all I ask is that if you like the show, please help spread the word. Let others know about it. Let's continue to share and grow our WDW Radio family. Tweet out that you're listening to this episode. Share it with your favorite group or on your profile on Facebook. And if you can, take 30 seconds to just rate and review the show over on iTunes. It's a great way to get more people to help find the show. I want to thank some recent reviewers like Princess M74, who says, I love Lou's shows and his passion for Disney. My only complaint, I don't read these in advance. My only complaint is that I can't listen on my long runs because there's always talk of food. Sorry, not sorry. Ram Z Dancer 55 says it's super informative. Lou does a great job of making things fun and interesting. I consider myself a huge Disney nerd, and I'm learning things I never knew before. Thanks, Lou, for helping my Disney knowledge grow. Kay Fillin said, I wish I could give it 10 stars. And then he gives 10 stars and says, there. I love this podcast. I grew up with parents who were DVC members. Later, I became a cast member, and I thought I knew Walt Disney World until I heard Lou's show. Now I can't wait to go back, revisit the parks and resorts, and annoy my family even more with my new and improved arsenal of knowledge and appreciation influenced by Lou and the show. I personally love the top 10 episodes. You would have loved to see my wife's eye-roll reaction when I told her how much I loved the top 10 lighting effects episode, the tributes to the Disney legends, and the restaurant reviews, even though they make me hungry at odd hours of the day. Welcome to my world. I also admire the wide opportunities Lou offers for listeners to interact with him personally through email, social media, and even monthly meetups in the parks where you can meet him personally. Thank you, Lou, for your positivity and passion, as well as your courage to share your passion with as many who will listen. Kay Phil, thank you so much. That was so nice and hit and resonated on so many different points because everything that you said is exactly what I have endeavored to do from the very first show to now and will continue to do in the future. I want you to feel like, because this is what I believe, that you are sitting at a table listening to friends share and talk about something that simply makes us happy, which is just our love of Disney. I do want to meet every single one of you in person. As much as I love sharing content with you this way, I would love the opportunity to look in your eyes, shake your hands, and hear your stories and find out how maybe I can continue to help you beyond just having a better Walt Disney World experience. And that's a big part of the reason why I do it a lot of what I do on the entrepreneurial side. Again, thank you so much for the kind words, the emails, everybody who contacted me about Show 500, and just the fact that you are here listening, even if we have never interacted in person or online in any other way. I see you and I appreciate you, and don't think that a day goes by that I do not. The fact that you are here is an incredible gift, and one that I will never, ever take for granted. And if there's ever anything that I can do to repay that gift or help you in any way, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you for more than a decade and more than 500 shows. And as we think about continuing to keep moving forward, both individually and collectively as a WDW Radio family, quotes from Disney attractions are running through my head, because I think there really is a great, big, beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every single day, even though now is the time. Now is kind of the best time. But I'm brought back to 1975 Space Mountain. You're probably too young to remember, but I'm brought back to 1975 Space Mountain, because here's to the future and you. Thank you. I love you. See ya.
Hey, Lou, this is Quentin from Brownsburg, Indiana. I was just calling to say that finally, after about a year and a half of listening to your podcast and 2 trips to Disney World, experiencing a mini marathon, and Mickey's Not So Scary, and then traveling to Disneyland for the first time and meeting you and Becky at D23, I have finally caught up with your episodes. I'm on I'm on episode 499 right now, and I just want to say it's been so much fun getting to know you and experience all this stuff and hearing your stories and listening to you and your friends just goof around on the podcast. It's just been wonderful as a Disney fan. And just congratulations on making it to your 500th episode, and I cannot wait to experience more fun with you guys as you continue the show. Congrats, man.
Hey, Lou, this is John Jones from Southern Mississippi, and I'm getting ready to start watching the show. I can't wait. I bet you got a lot of, I hope you have a lot of people down there. I wish I could be there, buddy, but I'm not. I tried to pull something off and make it like an overnight trip. That backfired, but my day's coming, so see you later, bud.
Hi, Lou. This is Mason from Massachusetts. I'm 8 years old. My mom and I love your podcast. My favorite episode was 491, things to collect. I collect transportation cards and Tsum Tsums. I just started collecting Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom cards. But I'm calling because I have a question. In the introduction for episode 497, you said that Shanghai Winnie the Pooh was amazing. I love the Pooh ride and was excited to hear how it's amazing and different from the one at Disney World. But then you never mentioned it again. Could you please take some time in episode 500 to tell it's so amazing? Thank you. I want my mom to sign us up for your Alaska cruise. Bye.
Hey, Lou, this is Ryan calling from Portland, Oregon. Wanted to offer you early congratulations on your 500th episode that is coming up here. That is awesome. What an amazing achievement. Say about 2 years ago, my son and I started planning his 12th birthday party, and we were planning an amazing trip to Disney World. And about a year and a half ago, we discovered your podcast. I feel like you've been like one of our best friends and traveling companions ever since. Your enthusiasm for all of us Disney nuts out there really inspires us. You do such great stuff, interview such wonderful people. We've listened to well over 100 of your podcasts in the last year and a half, and it's been great. Feel like we know you. So the reason I call is tomorrow is the day, man. We're flying from the West Coast out there to Florida and going to enjoy our 1 week vacation. And it's really thanks to you. Your amazing podcast that you did on the Fort Wilderness Resort there. Really inspired both of us to say, let's do it, let's go. We're going to go and camp and have a blast and ride the ferry over to Magic Kingdom and do all that good stuff. So, hey, that's we're going there because of that. So, hey, hope we see you soon. Maybe you'll have a meet of the month while we're out there. I don't know. But either way, thanks for all the good work you do. You know, we all love you a lot. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hi, Lou. It's Chuck Lionberger, the Disney Daddy. Wanted to congratulate you and the entire WDW radio crew on 500 episodes. It's hard to believe the show has been going for 500 episodes strong, and here's to 500 more. I'm proud that I've been a part of a few of those episodes, and I hope to be involved in more in the future. So congratulations on 500 episodes of the award-winning WDW radio show.
Hello, Mr. Lou Montello. It's Darlene Nagy from West Seneca, New York, and it's getting cold up here, but that's okay. I am so excited for the 500th episode this weekend on Saturday from 4 to 7 p.m. It is going to be so exciting to be able to talk to everybody and chat with you on this 500th episode. I can't believe I've been listening to you for that long. Oh my goodness. So anyhow, I loved the episode on Animal Kingdom's Mara. The food there, when I stayed there already 2 times, years in between, but I was so happy that they had platters that we could share if we didn't want to have too much of a filling meal. It was really nice to go and get a platter and share it with the family. Keith and I do that a lot. I love the fact that I can get Mickey waffles there. That was always like a special treat for me because I love my Mickey waffles, as you well know. So those are a few of my favorite things. We've even gotten the zebra domes there. Don't tell too many people because I've had those at BOMA. But it's really nice that you can get takeout stuff and eat in your room and on your balcony while you're sitting watching the savannah and seeing the animals, watching the giraffes eat out of the trees and see the zebras rolling around in the sand. It's a wonderful resort, and the food there is just so amazing. So if you get a chance, go over and try the food at the Mara. It's very, very good. It's right near that awesome pool. Have a wonderful, magical evening, and stay positive. Love you guys.
You've got a friend in me. Yeah.
WDW Radio, your information station.
You found that spot on the dial. Give a listen and stay for a while. Time for us to say hello.
WDW Radio.
News and rumors and interviews. Trivia, history, and reviews. All the Disney stuff you need to know.
WDW Radio.
It's time to hear all about a magical place. Disney World will always put a smile on your face. Now the time is almost here. Sit right down, put on your mouse ears. Blues are ready, let's get on with the show.
WDW Radio.
Well, it sounds pretty good. In fact, that's just the right spirit.